Look at,
Hello.
oh my God.
Hey,
Oh my
Pat.
God. It's all working. Look at that. I didn't have to
Here
create
we are.
password and secret password. Fucking
Yeah, yeah.
bullshit.
You
We
could
were
add
Really?
it
thinking
to
of
your
doing that to you,
list.
but then we're like, maybe not. He is on tour, and
Really?
yeah.
Really? Well, you
What's
made
going
it
on,
so
buddy?
easy. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
So
How's
good to
my
see you.
background? Your surroundings is very colorful, both of you. This I can't do much better. It's like brown and black. Those are pretty gross curtains, that's for sure. Maybe let's
We
see.
won't judge. We won't judge.
Maybe that's better.
Oof, that's pretty. It's pretty
That's
nice.
That's
pretty
nice.
fancy.
Pretty
Yeah.
fancy.
Oh, I got the
What's
light
up?
There we
back
go.
there. That's not good.
Yeah, man. I love
Yeah,
that you're.
hang
I
on.
love that you're working with us here, Pat.
I know. Well, I was just reading my favorite thing about this app. Hi, Mandy, by
Hi,
the
nice
way.
to meet you.
Oh, yeah. No, see bad lighting there. I got a hat on. That it said I was just reading on the App Store, when you look at one of these things you're downloading, and you can go in and edit ums and ahs.
You
So I
can.
always feel like whenever I do types of public speaking, I say too much,
Maybe
which
just say it a ton, so we have a lot to edit.
Thankfully, it takes it out automatically, so I don't have to go through and delete them. But there we go. I like to leave them in a little bit, because they're kind
Well,
of
that's what
natural parts of
we
speech.
talk
Yeah.
like. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
how's the lighting, guys? I got a hat on.
Beautiful.
Are we
It's
all right?
fabulous.
Oh,
Okay,
you're beautiful.
great.
Yeah, it's good to
Yeah.
see you, bud.
So,
So the big
Pat,
All right.
tour. Yeah.
Well, it's big in that it's always going. And then we take a break, what are we doing? We're still doing, we're doing the album Roll with the Punches with
mhm,
Bryan Adams.
mhm,
And um, the thing, I'm trying to figure out the timeline because there was a bunch of official release stuff that happened at late August, but we started playing this stuff. We did a rundown in late January into February, similar to this run, I guess, time wise. And we went and we were down in Australia, New Zealand, and we started playing a bunch of that stuff back then. So we've definitely been playing a lot of it for a year. And there's a new, I think in April there's this new album. It's in the can already, and we shot a video in December. We were over in it's a couple 2 weeks of stuff in December just before Christmas. So we were in Zurich and somewhere backstage shot this video.
nice.
So
How fun is
but
that?
oh, it was fun. It was great. Actually, green screen stuff. I just saw, he goes, "Hey, I got 1 minute of edited. You guys want to see it?" And so, yesterday in the dressing room, laptop. And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Oh, right. I forgot we did that. Blah, blah, blah." It was a
Nice.
couple of months ago. So, but I'm really excited about that single. And whatever that means nowadays. I mean, he
Uh,
just keeps forward and pushing forward and writing always and making records. And it sort of gives you a reason to make new merch, to tour, to we have a couple of drones that, like, we've had this one with us for a couple of years, and it's basically a mock-up of the Corvair that he's got. Have you ever gone down to his warehouse studios, Todd?
Yeah. Yeah. Many times. Yeah.
And have you seen that Corvair? Or, well, it's a car. It's For years it was uncovered, just sitting there, and then lately it's sort of covered in something, as it should be. But I don't know, it is a '68 Corvair that he bought and a couple of years ago, and ended up, I'm going to use it in a video, and it's been in 2 or 3 different videos. But we have this. It's basically a drone, but it's like a giant. It's like a mini blimp, almost the size of a car, a bit smaller, but it looks like the car. And if you know the car from the video, and
uh,
it's named Doris. Anyway, and there's a guy that travels with us, and he's a drone operator, and
No
that's his
way.
deal.
That's so cool. Like
So
that's
there's a
somebody's
drone up
job.
there. And
yeah.
yeah, I know. There was a couple of different guys. This guy's been with us for a while. There was another guy before, and I think he was ex-military in some way, so,
Mhm.
but flying
Yeah.
drones,
Well, if you
who have
ever
thought,
need a couple of podcast hosts on the tour, then
on the tour?
we're available. So
That'd be perfect too, right? Okay.
Just let us know.
I gotta
And,
ask you
hold up,
though.
no, let's not just skip over. Did I just hear that there's a Bryan Adams new album in the can already? Tell us about
Yeah.
that.
He's a busy guy.
No doubt.
I'm not sure how much I can say, so I'll try to be.
Yeah,
There's a couple
diplomatic
things
about
on
it.
there that. Hmm?
You'll be
What's that?
diplomatic about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple songs on there that there's one that I guess he's just re-releasing it because he loves the song and he sort of did a re-recording of it. So it's I don't know what album
Everything
that's from.
I do
Yeah,
it
I know it's
for
not that
you.
one. That one
It's not
takes
that
care of
one.
itself.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
there was a couple years ago there was a movie and it was oh gosh, I can't remember the actors, but definitely in the the Judd Apatow world of comedy and a couple of SNL characters or something in this movie, but there were two singles that were a couple singles that he did and we did videos for them. And so they're going to be on that record because I was all along going, I like these are great songs, man. They need to, it's like working with indie artists and these songs need to be heard by people. Or they need to get a life,
Mhm,
get
mhm.
to have a life of some form. So I'm glad that those couple of songs are on that. One is called You're Awesome and one is called hang on, because I always I get these titles mixed up all the time.
Right, and
No
sometimes there's
Hang
worries.
on.
like working titles too. Like
Yeah,
this
I
is
know,
not
I
the
know.
song originally. Like
I could look it up right here if you want. Sometimes you lose before you win. Yeah, that's how it goes, which is
okay,
the line in the chorus.
Mhm.
But yeah, great songs, and we shot a couple of videos for those already. That's a couple of years ago. So there's a bunch of new stuff, and then there's like three or four things that like I said, though they've been singles in the last couple of years. So why not just put it on that record? I mean,
yeah,
you can do
and
whatever
so
you
is there
want,
is there
really.
talk of collaboration? Like when you look back on Brian's career, not to make this about Bryan Adams, obviously
Yeah,
talking
no,
with
that's
you, but
fine.
like when you look back on his career, like some of his bigger songs, and certainly the Tina Turner one that he did was massive.
Massive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there talk of that like in your camp now, or is it like way
No, is
past
there
that?
anything? No. And a lot of times around here, it's just like it's just happening. There's not any sort of like I would be excited. I want to know about that, even if it's a month beforehand or whatever, and don't
Sure,
say
yeah.
anything or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But usually there's a lot of stuff that it just, you know, I'll say to one of the guys, "Oh, did you get that email?" And he goes, "Yeah, about that thing. Yeah, I guess we're going to the studio tomorrow." And then, boom, and then show up and like we did this Christmas special recently. I mean, there was a bit of setup. I did know beforehand, but for example, and then we showed up at the studio, and it was I don't know if you guys got to see that, but it was we just sort of went in and go, I don't know, let's see how this goes, and does anyone need a Christmas special? But it was amazing, and people who saw it, people um, in small towns that I go to or friends of friends that I don't even know, they're going, "Oh, you're that guy?" I go, "Yeah." I go, "Oh my God, we watched your Christmas special last night, my husband and I. It was
Nice.
really good."
Nice.
And so he put it together. There's a production company that said, "Hey, we want to do this with you, Brian. And why don't you, I don't know how that conversation went, but why don't you get some people that you'd like to have on your Christmas special?" So it was Bare Naked Ladies, the Sheepdogs,
Mm.
who were touring opening for us this was in September when we shot it. Alessia Cara was there, Alan Doyle with my great friend Kendall Carson, who plays fiddle with her, and she's nowadays playing also with Shania Twain. Um, she's kind of a West Coast um, big deal. Like indie,
Uh-huh.
but she's been doing tons of stuff. She's super talented. And for some of the guys in in this band, there was like, oh, I know that we all know the Bare Naked Ladies. The ladies toured with Brian years ago in the early '90s or something. So they all have a friendship. And then with the Sheepdogs and us are pals right now because we're touring. And my friend plays with Alessia, so I was like, oh my God, I so want to meet her. Like I just think she's great. She seems like a really good person, and so he set that up. So I got to meet her and fan out or whatever.
Nice. Yeah.
Um,
Nice.
and another really great Canadian artist named Lights, if you know
Yeah,
about her,
yeah.
and she's amazing. And she's in that show. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Oh, and there was a string section. I think that was about it. But that's a bunch of artists, a bunch of Canadian artists,
Yeah.
and
That's great.
everyone brought two or three Christmas songs.
Nice.
And Brian pushed for so we did it down at his studio, and it was like he Brian pushed for that thing of what the Wrecking Crew is. They're 60s 70s um group of LA studio musicians, and
Mm,
they played on all that Beach Boy stuff and the Mamas and Papas, like just
Nice.
so much stuff, right? A couple of
yeah.
key drummers, key guitar players, composers that were piano player or bass players, or um, so like that, in the spirit of that, Brian pushed for, there was me and Tyler Stewart from the Bare Naked Ladies at all times.
Nice.
Their bass
He
player,
seems like
Jim.
he would be a maniac to hang with. That guy
Oh, he's,
seems.
I know, those guys are a gas. He is a gas.
Yeah.
And, and a great musician, a great singer. And those guys, they have their thing. They
Mhm.
would do a Christmas song, and you're going, "Yep, it sounds like Ed Robertson, man, or it sounds like the
Right.
Brand New Ladies." But we were backing that, and so again, there was like two drummers, upright bass and regular bass, and
Wow.
then we had the Sheepdogs. Like we're all playing at once on any
That's
song.
Wow.
insane. At the
That's
warehouse too,
crazy.
which of
Yeah,
course is probably lit so well,
yeah, the lighting was
and
super cool.
it's
Brian
such
was
a
super
cool vibe
hands-on with the.
already. Like, dude.
Yeah, it was. I think the reason people said, um, oh man, I just loved that they, like I said, people, seniors that I met in Qualicum Beach, where I moved back to Vancouver Island, so I'm living over there. And I was just at the gym talking to my friend, and this woman goes, "You're in music, or what do you?" This some lady on the treadmill next to me, and I get talking to her. But anyway, the reason I think people love seeing this show is because it wasn't like a CTV or an NBC, like a production, and it's in the studio and everything's been rehearsed to death and
Mm.
everything's perfect and all that
Right.
stuff, or there's lip syncing and all that. It's like,
Mm.
um we just went in, we would sort of rehearse the arrangement. We'd all listen to it maybe that day or maybe for a few days before or whatever. And I show up and everyone's done. It wasn't even a question of like, are we all clear on this song? It was just sort of like, okay, let's get going. I mean, I had a couple that I wasn't as clear on as I thought. Uh,
That you were.
as I should have been. But then,
Yeah, yeah.
it got going. I go, oh, well, I do know Deck the Halls or whatever. And I'll go, okay, we'll just get doing this thing. And we're rehearsing and everyone's hitting wrong chords and making a mistake. But we just sort of, we rehearsed the arrangement between, well, more than once, a couple, 2 or 3 times through. And you go, okay, well, let's do another. Let's just roll the tape. I mean, I think we had tape, compact discs, what's the word I'm looking for? Hard drives. I think we had it rolling at all times, which is always the best because you never know what gold is going to
Yeah,
happen
like
in a
lightning could
rehearsal.
just boom. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's where a lot of the good stuff is. So some of the stuff we really only played it a couple times, and that's what you heard, and that's what you saw. And there's about four different, five, a couple guys with cameras and a couple of stationary cameras, and Brian's really hands on with that stuff because he's a great photographer. He's got that whole career going, and
Right.
I mean, day one of this 2-day session where we had to do, I don't know how many songs, like it was about 12 or something, you know. And the first day we got two maybe, but I mean setup takes a long time. We didn't really get rolling until about 2:30 or 3, and we rehearsed the song, and Brian goes, "Okay, I'm gonna go in and have a listen." And he goes in, but what he's doing is looking at all the lighting is, the sounds are fine. I don't think he's even worried about that, and he's not worried about what anyone sang or played or whatever. Or hey, you guys really need to work on your tuning. There was none of that. He was just in there, I think, just really laboring over how does it look and the
Right.
camera stuff. And so he go, "Here, I'll be right back." And we'd be out there, and after 20 minutes, Alan Doyle would just kick into a jig, singing about whales or something, and then we all kick in, and then we're just going, and then we'd stop and we go, "What's going on?" I don't know. And then Ed Robertson would say some funny something, which would turn into those guys would start playing a song because that's how those guys roll. And then it was work, but it was a lot of fun, and we were just, I don't know. Oh, and then he'd come back in like an hour later. He goes, "Sorry guys, I just really wanted to get a couple things right." Okay, that one sounds great. Let's and people are like, "Are we? Could we do another take? Because I wouldn't mind getting that bridge better." He goes, "I think we
Like, no,
got it,
no, it's
but okay, we'll do one more. Okay, but that last one is great. We got it, because
Yeah.
I'm ready to move on. But if you guys want to do it, so it was it was a good group thing. It wasn't like, oh, he's the boss and everyone follow. It was like whatever he was directing it. It was cool to watch him in in the whole setting because he was just being a guy in the band, and then all of a sudden he'd step up and he did an amazing duet with lights. Her version of Deck the Halls, which was like uh, Elliott Smith meets some kind of mellow Nirvana. But that was the
Sure.
way she did it, and
Nice.
we're just listening and going, "Oh my God, this is incredible!" And
Yeah, no doubt.
so it's there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's
Put 'em
going to
up.
happen if the
And that's
if
released,
they're
Pat?
it's gonna be out and you can just go watch it on Netflix or what. Yeah, it came out and they aired it 4 times. It was City TV. So whatever the
Okay.
parent company is, they chose. Might have been Rogers or something. I'm not sure if City TV is affiliated with that because you know how it is with companies swallowing up radio
Yeah.
Yeah.
stations and companies
No, I
and
never heard
TV
of that
stations.
before. Please
No, you
let me
never
know
heard of
about
it.
that. I'm not familiar with what you're talking about.
I know. That's why I said it. Yeah,
Pat,
Yeah.
you will be
since we're talking
anyway.
about musicians,
Yeah.
can you tell us a little bit about who your early influences were and what got you into, what developed your love of music and got you on a set of drums?
For sure, the Beatles was the first thing in our family household. My parents came to
Yeah.
Vancouver from England
What did they?
in the late 50s. So, when the Beatles started happening in the 60s, I never got a chance, they're both gone, but I never got a chance to ask them about, hey, what did that mean to you? And because, when I was born, they had done Ed Sullivan, early 60s,
Hmm.
all the Beatles stuff that was going on. So we had a few of those records in the house, and the real turning point for me, hang on grabbing water
Yeah. Yeah.
was Sergeant Pepper's.
Hmm.
I just
Hmm.
really dug the song Lucy in the Sky, and I was even at that age, I was 5. Like my family or my siblings knew he's interested in the drums. Oh, check the drums out on this one, and Lucy in the Sky goes into the chorus.
Hmm.
So that was like an exciting thing as a young guy,
No
At
and
doubt. Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At
at
five.
5. Yeah, I was into it. I was excited by it, and you know what? I think I've talked about this story exactly a few times, and I realized it's not only that there's a drum going on, and it's this incredible sound that was. If you were 15 when that album happened, you were interested in playing the sound of that music would have just blown your mind. But the thing about this story is that I think that song, pretty much any song on that record, but Lucy in the Sky is a very great pop song. It's just such a great chorus, you know? And I
Hmm.
think that's the kind of thing that got me excited about music was a really good song. And all of us can agree, like that is what it comes down to. Like whether you
Right.
reference whatever, I guess I'm gonna reference all kinds of 70s stuff. But I mean we all love like that you hear something on the radio from Fleetwood Mac and you turn it up because you go, it's a great song, you
Right.
know?
Hmm.
So just to stay on the the track of your question, that was like for sure the first influence was the Beatles and stuff. And then they started, I think because of the Beatles, the British invasion, the Partridge Family was a thing on TV. I thought
Right.
it was amazing. I had to watch it every week because that kid is my age and he's playing drums. And
Mm.
then,
Mom,
but
pick up a guitar. Let's go.
yeah, yeah,
Dad,
and
grab the
yeah.
bass.
Yeah.
So those are a couple of things. And then just like I'm the youngest of 3, and so everyone is hitting age 13 at different ages. So you're bringing home records.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and I remember our grandmother was out visiting from England, and we went downtown in Vancouver to what would it have been? I think it was Woodward's because there was Eaton's and Woodward's, right? And they had it was a department store. Well, you go to the music department. So I got T-Rex Electric Warrior because that song
Nice.
Get It On was on the
Yeah.
radio, and it was the sound of his guitar was what got me excited.
Hmm.
And so I got that. My brother got Black Sabbath. My sister got Donovan or something.
Nice.
And that's where the tastes were all kind of different. And
Hmm. Hmm.
so
That's cool. And who's got the best musical taste between your siblings.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, how do you say who's got best or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
I was just talking
Like, I
with
guess
someone the
who
other.
do you like who do you like the most of, like, their tastes? Are they aligned with you, or are they completely different? Are they
No, I
country
think we're
people, or
all really different. Like
they're
my
the same?
brother really in the 80s when guys like Yngwie Malmsteen came around because he's a at home guitar player and he's like he went from sort of, the Deep Purple, Black Sabbath and all that into and he's really into that. Nowadays metal is kind of it's a thing, it's everywhere,
Mm.
wasn't really it wasn't really my thing, but then I've been meeting some interesting people along the way and they're like, well, they're that guy, they've done that or played with Rob Zombie or that kind of music, and
Mhm.
I guess I was always more on the sort of pop music side of things and but whatever, and anyone could play you something and go, hey, this is what I'm really into, and I would go, because my sister just was when we were teenagers, she was bringing home, she had Elton John, she had The Who, she even had some Frank Zappa, which in later years, I think she's just probably more as an adult, she lives in California. She probably more. I could still go, oh, hey, remember because we had Peter Frampton Comes Alive, or she had the 8 track, or you know,
Yeah.
she was a good inspiration for me for music because we would take car rides, and she had her license now, and there was 8 tracks, so you know, um,
8
I think she
tracks,
even
Yeah.
yeah.
had,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Um, yeah, so I can't answer. I can't really say who's. I'm
Yeah,
certainly not going to
true
go,
enough.
oh, I have
Yeah.
the coolest taste because I play music for a living. It's like I don't. It's all
Right.
relevant, everybody's got a thing, So
Yeah,
Mhm.
true
I
enough.
think,
Yeah,
yeah, they both
yeah,
have their own things and they're good, So, and like I say, you could either of you guys, I could come over to your house and you could play me. Hey, have you ever heard this? I go, well, I've heard of it, or I've never heard it. No, or I might go, yeah, I love that, and go, yeah, isn't this song amazing? I love that. It's a
yeah.
great thing about music is
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
true.
could
No
be
doubt.
you could be just discovering um, Led Zeppelin today for the first time. I always figure I've been saying that for about 20 years. Like right now, today, there's some 13-year-old
There's
old kid
something.
who's their
Yeah,
brother, their dad, their uncle went, hey, check this out. And they're hearing a whole lot
Yeah,
of
for
love
sure.
and
Yeah.
it's blowing their mind.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Yeah.
speaking of which, what's
Yeah.
on your what are you listening to lately? What music are you streaming currently? Like what do you listen to?
Yeah, good. I have, you know what? I have a couple playlists that, even when I went from, oh, I was with Spotify and then I changed, I went to, I'm on Tidal. I got to take a screenshot of that playlist because, I
Uh,
mean, you could just let it go and go, remember that mixtape and now it's gone. But,
right.
so I have one that's like, it's just like it started with, oh man, I really like this, and it was during COVID. I was reading a Black Crow, a book written by Steve
Steve Gorman?
Gorman, drummer from the Black
Yeah.
Crows. Yeah, interesting
Such a
book.
good
And then I
such a
was,
good read.
huh?
Such
Yeah,
a good
really
read.
good.
Is it?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh man, and so I went into a lot, and so I put a lot of Black Crows in there and stuff. But this playlist exists for me, for like if I heard a new song by Mammoth, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Wolfie Van Halen. I went,
Hmm.
Killing
man,
it.
that's good. I mean, the guy's amazing. I haven't
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
listened to a whole album top to bottom, but I heard this one song. I went, that's awesome. I'm going to add that to my rock playlist. And and I got some old Van Halen. I got some old classic AC/DC because for quite a while with this touring, I would put on the earbuds or whatever, and then just get a practice pad and sticks, and then I would play s- that playlist. When it was short, I
Right.
just put it on and well, I still do that a lot. I'll just put it on random. I know what's in here, but I don't know what's going to come up. So I just hit random, and I just get on my pad and just get music going that just get me stoked and get rocking because we come out and the first song we do is like it's up tempo. So I don't want to be listening to Heart of Gold for half an hour and then go up and go do what I got to do. No, I
Yeah.
got to listen to Shoot the Thrill
Right.
and classic AC/DC but
Yeah.
I got to throw this out there is that for about, I don't know, 5 years more. Yeah, more than that. There's a Ontario band because I think they're originally from Windsor. I don't know if they still live there. Um, oh, geez, I've just forgotten the name. I have to hang on. That is
From
just so
Ontario band
dumb.
from
But
Windsor.
also, a Black Pistol Fire. Those guys are cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they
Yes,
are.
I've had
Um,
them
Yeah.
on the podcast before, those guys.
Blue Stones. Sorry, I knew it was black. No, it's
Yes.
blue. Blue
Blue
Yes.
Stones. I love
Stones.
those
They came
guys.
to
Yes.
Vancouver.
I love.
Dude, they played at the QE Theater, and it was so good.
Yeah, they're
So
Was it
good.
great.
great?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Killer
My
band.
wife used to teach. spin classes downtown. And so I go in and she'd always have a mixture of like, she loves The Cure and Psychedelic Furs and that sort of era of sort of British new wave
Uh-huh.
and then just sort of different stuff. And then a song was coming and she goes, "Oh, I put this one in for you, Pat." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And if you've ever done a spin class, you're either dying or you're just getting over
Yeah.
dying. But
Yeah.
it's
Or about
such
to
a good
die.
workout. And so she put on the song "Be My Fire," which was, as far as I know, the first thing I'd ever heard of the Bluestones. I'm like, wow. And then I saw the video and I went, okay, cool. There's some younger guys and there's a girlfriend. There's a story, but just the riffing and the playing and that they're a two piece, I just love it. But I really like the writing too, you know. And then the next record was a little more kind of techno, you know. They got a cool team between those two, and I think they work with the same producer a lot and I think they're doing a really cool thing. So anyway, I have that in my inspiration playlist as
Mm,
Nice.
well. Yeah.
yeah.
And is that
Cool,
part of
man.
your pre-show ritual? Do you have such a thing? Like I know a lot of sports players are really superstitious. They got to do the same thing before every show. Is there any of that going on with you, or do you just get up there, warm up,
I
get in the
was doing it
groove?
more. Maybe now that you've said that, ritual was the word, and I should sort of get that going more. But I mean, mostly it's yeah, every day is different, and every day your energy is a little different.
Sure.
Mostly, I just want to be on my game. So whatever that's going to take, you know, doing some push-ups and getting the blood going that way too, but with the music or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's not a super ingrained specific ritual. Okay, it's 22. I
Right.
mean, the ritual is oh, it's 22. I'm 10 minutes late starting. I just like to just do that, you know, get everything flowing. And
Get
Yeah.
in front of the mirror,
my
give yourself a good
my
pep talk. Let's go,
that's
let's
right. Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
the gnarly coach
That's
comes
right.
in.
Pat,
You know, and it
we're actually going to be talking. You're on the road right now with Sheepdogs, is that right?
no, no, that was in
Oh, you
September.
did
They
that
toured with
before. Okay.
us across
Uh,
Canada, which was great.
Okay, cool. Because I wanted to maybe see if you can help us out here. Mandy and I are going to be talking with I think it's the singer of Sheepdogs.
Ewan.
Ewan, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Ewan
great.
Curry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good guy. I've had him on the podcast a few times, but I'm hoping that maybe you might have something that like an inside thing of touring with them. Is there an
Okay, let me
angle we can
think.
kind of take
Get
Well,
with
the
them?
man, those
dirt.
dudes, there was
Give us the
playoffs
dirt.
going on, right? The Blue Jays
Okay.
was going on, and
They're big fans.
yeah, they're big sports guy. Him and his brother, and gapping on the name, Angus, Ewan and Angus, and lovely guys. You know, they do their thing, and it's they got their own thing. They got their sound, man. It's really cool. Anyway, so back, you know, after a while, like, cause our dressing room is kind of these guys. Well, we have a band dressing room, and Brian has his, and he comes and goes, and we have more of the sort of rider and snacks and stuff. So he'll come in and have that, and we'll talk and
Random
laugh
stuff.
about
Yep.
whatever, and then but sometimes it's just really mellow in there for me, and so I'll leave with my playlist, or oh, there's another band, so I'll just go goof around with those guys, you know, before they're going up to play or whatever. And they always had an iPad going. One had Blue Jays, and one there was some. Ewan is big into NFL, so
Okay.
there was football going on. There was just lots of sports all
Yeah.
the
Okay.
time, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tell you, those guys, they get big points for the night we played Edmonton's so that was about the one, two, three, I don't know, about sixth show on the Canadian tour. And our production girl, Wilson, came by. She goes, "Hey, the Sheepdogs are all. It's their tour manager's birthday, so they're hosting a little party down in the room down there. Blah blah blah." And I went, "Oh, okay." And then I thought about it. And went, "Oh, yeah, about half an hour ago, I was doing something, and I saw a guy from the building going by with like a push cart." And there was tequila, there's all kinds of booze on there and bourbon, and I was like, wow, I wonder what
Where's
you know,
that
it's going up
going?
to somebody's suite, yeah. And then when I came around you know, I go, oh, okay, well, and I was some friends of mine that I just met. She lives in Vancouver, and the boyfriend is in Edmonton. I go, well, look, come up to Edmonton, and I'll get you guys into the show because Vancouver is not going to happen. You know, it's just too crazy. And they went, really? Okay, so they came up. Then I kind of blew their minds because we were hanging out, you know, and then I said, "Oh, there's this party. Let's go check it out." So we go in there, and there's that guy with the cart, and he's back there mixing cocktails and made some kind of mezcal, something or other, and he's like, "Yeah, what do you guys want?" So those guys were just the best for hosting who all of us, whoever wanted to be there. and all of
Mm.
them and their friends and their crew, and
Yeah.
so it was really fun, and every night, they put on a great show, all the
Right.
way
Oh,
from
they're
Victoria
so good.
to they did the whole run, man. It was in St. John's, Newfoundland was the last show. Um,
Nice.
so I don't know if I have any dirt, Mandy. Uh,
Now
um,
that's
Okay.
pretty good. All
Okay.
of that's
but
pretty good stuff.
good
It's good
fun
stuff.
stuff though. You can
Good
make
fun
it
stuff.
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
dirty,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
rock and
Yeah.
roll.
Fair
Um,
enough.
but I mean, they're lovely guys,
Yeah.
and they have a new drummer. Oh God, all these names that were on my brain for a while, and
Yeah.
but I got you and an Angus, so
Yeah.
um,
You did. You did well.
but
Yeah.
really good guys, man. They're entrenched in like 1974 kind of, and even the records sound that way too, which is I like that. That's cool, you
I
Hmm.
know.
like it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
And
sure.
it's funny, our friend who's he's an engineer. He comes out sometimes because Brian's working on stuff, so he'll fly Hayden out here. And Hayden's become a really good friend. He's also a drummer. He also man Brian one day they need a new manager at the studio. One of the guys uh had a change of plans, and Brian just goes, "Why don't you just run it? You're here all the time. You know what needs to happen." So he runs the studio too, you know. But he's going. So he was part of the engineering team and this setting up of the whole Christmas special at the studio. And he's going, and he's a younger guy, and he grew up in the prairies in real small town. I think Manitoba or Saskatchewan. I think it's Saskatchewan. No, it's Manitoba because his parents came by the Winnipeg show.
Mm.
But he's so thrilled that he's going to be meeting and recording and hanging out with the sheepdogs. He's like, man, we used to play their songs when I was 15. I'm going, how long have these guys been around? And it's like, oh, they've been doing it for like about 20 years.
Yeah.
A long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, yeah. You sort of think, oh yeah, I know the sheepdogs, but I don't think of them as we've been hearing them on the radio for 20 years.
Hmm.
right. Well, they,
I
and
may
when they
be, I
initially
may
when
be
they
wrong on
made
the
the
number.
big yeah, I mean when they made the big splash initially, one of the key speaking things of the band was that they were the first indie band to ever make the cover of the Rolling Stone,
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
which
think I
is
got
interesting.
fed weird information at the time. I thought it was some sort of, like people do Canadian Idol or some show like that. And if you win, you get a record deal. It's like,
yeah, right.
okay, I guess you're legit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, no.
there are some people that have come on there, mostly singers, that you're going, how is that 13-year-old that good at sounding like Aretha Franklin or whatever? That
Hmm.
element of those shows I kind of appreciate. But anyway, yeah, I got fed some weird info because I thought they had won a contest and they got to go on the cover. But I think it was actually legit that,
No,
they
it's
were
legit.
playing in bands and playing around forever, and one thing
Yeah.
led to another. So,
So, Pat, I was creeping your
yeah,
Instagram page, like I do, and you're you're in
I've been
fantastic
lame
shape.
this week. Oh, what's that?
You're in great shape. Tell us about how you maintain that, especially when you're touring and stuff. What's your
Oh,
regime like?
but
Yeah.
you know what? Thank you. That's nice of you to say that. You know, I'm 63 and out here rocking, and I love it. I'm playing more and harder probably than ever in my life. So kind of funny that came by just at the end of my tail end of my 59th year, but I'm always up
Right.
for whatever. So it's one of those things that one feeds the other. Like I want
Yeah.
to keep good at this, so I gotta do these other things. But doing these other things and hopefully keeping fit is it's 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 a full circle. It's good for you. We have to do it as we all, you know, everybody as they're getting beyond 40 or 50 will
Stretch.
discover they go, oh,
Go for a
yeah. I
walk.
mean, look at all the
Yeah.
ads that come up. Yeah. Look at all the ads that come up. I don't know what you get, but for some reason I get all these Tai Chi ones now. Then they go away and it's
Well, now
replaced
we're
with,
going to because our phones are now hearing you say Tai Chi, so now
Yeah.
we're getting
yeah.
it as well.
Well,
So
now you're
yeah,
going to
Yeah.
get it. Well, let me know how
yeah,
that goes.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I see this guy, and it's this Asian dude, and he's super buff, and he goes, "I'm 63, and I only do Tai Chi." And then
Uh,
and then there'll be another one, and it's like the same guy, and it's a 20 something girl going or guy saying, my dad's 57, should he be going to the gym? And he goes, nobody should go to the gym after age 50, blah 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 blah. And meanwhile the actual information is muscle atrophy happens. I mean, Tai Chi, if you're doing it and you're getting really and it's working, good. I
Mm,
think you should. We probably all should do a little tai chi, a little yoga, and some
yeah,
weights and
yeah.
cardio.
Yep.
It's like
You
eat
should make a
balance. You
video and
should.
just be like, I'm Pat, and all I do is rock out.
Okay,
That's
you
how
and
you
I will
stay in
talk about
shape,
that
dude. You're literally
later.
staying in shape from fucking drumming for Bryan Adams. It's
Oh my
insane.
Yeah,
God. Well, you
could
know
be
what?
worse.
There's a guy that works with us, and I've known him for years because he used to work with he was with the Tragically Hip forever. And so when the Odds toured with them in '95, we all became pals. And so uh, he's always quoting. There's a Kids in a Hall skit from way back, right? We're all Kids in a Hall fans.
Squishing your head. Squishing your head.
I know. I do that. I do that all the time. I see my daughter across the room and just crushing her head. But um, Bruce McCullough did. He had this one skit where yeah, I forget what the name of the band, Herman Mendelchuk and the blah blah. They had this band, this fictitious band thing, and but Bruce had this character that would always go, "I got big arms because I drum, eh?" So that there's a bit of that running out here, and my friend out here, he says that, and we always have a little laugh, talk about the kids in the hall, but I was playing. This is about, I don't know, back in the summer, 6 months ago or something. I was playing, and I literally felt on my right bicep. Like I just felt it. I was aware of it. I was playing the song, and like I said, it was like it's fun. I just want to rock out. This music inspires me to really rock out. And I'm playing away, and I told him later, I go, I was playing, and I looked over at you but I couldn't get your attention because you're busy. But I literally felt my bicep because I was rocking the hi-hats. So that's never happened. So um, this is definitely, one
It's
is feeding the
working.
other.
It's
You got to
working.
be in shape if you want to play that way, but playing that way keeps you in shape. So
There you go.
it's
Then it
kind of a
works
thing.
out all
So
around then.
Vicious circle
yeah,
here.
Yeah.
but my Instagram, I was gonna say I've been so lame on this run because lately I go, oh, well, I take photos of this city and then I'll put it up on stories and maybe because we played at the Budokan, so I'm gonna have to put some. I think I did one little post there at the beginning. This tour was started 3 weeks ago, and we went
Right.
to Japan and we played the Budokan for 2 nights. And you always got to think about. I was listening to Cheap Trick live at the
Wow.
Budokan that day. Just to sort of,
Mhm.
I don't know, that's a ritually thing, like get in the spirit of where you are.
Well,
You
hey,
know.
if you ever want to join us on a live and show us around backstage as you're getting set up, we'd help you with content.
Oh well, that's an idea too, because I have this app.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we can discuss that later.
Yeah.
Because
Cool.
yeah, once in a while I do a thing for I'm with a great company called Sabian Symbols, the Canadian company. Once in a while, one of their guys will come by and we'll just do with an iPhone. We'll just do sort of product update or whatever, just for their content. They'll do that. They'll go out and visit guys at Soundcheck and just do a shot of the drum kit and see all the symbols and
Hmm.
stuff. And yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Cool.
That's
yeah,
cool.
we could do a revisit,
Cool.
Yeah,
with
I
you
like that.
guys. Yeah.
Cool.
Pat, by the way, when you set my drums up, Pat came over to my house maybe 3, 4 years
I
ago and set
forgot about
the
that.
drums up. Remember that?
Yeah.
So when you left, my kids were like, who is that guy? And I was like, oh, so I started telling them about, because they know Cobra Ramon when you were playing in
Right.
Cobra.
Yeah, this was
Uh
back in like 2018 or 19,
maybe,
2019,
yeah.
because I
It
was
might have
living
been
in
right
your
before
neighborhood
Cobra.
then.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I started playing him the Cobra stuff. I started playing some, he also plays with Odds occasionally with a band called Odds, and
Can I just
but
interrupt for one
yeah,
second to like fan out a little bit
Okay.
on odds? The
Yeah.
odds. Love it. Just saying. That's all. That's all I wanted to
Yeah. You
say.
know what? You should get Craig. We'll set that up. You should have him on the show.
Craig, yeah,
They're
yeah,
doing a show.
would love that.
What are they doing? They
They're
got a
doing
big show this
something.
weekend at the Commodore.
They are, yeah,
Or next weekend on the
yeah.
19th. It's the 19th or 20th. I forget.
It's
20th.
coming up, yeah. I think on the 20th, yeah.
Yeah.
And then of
You should
course
try to go.
I left the coup de grace to, and then I was like, he's also Bryan Adams, summer of '69. That's the drummer of that band. They were like, what? Oh my God, you just had like, I was like, yeah,
That's funny.
but like,
That's awesome.
take notice of how like he's just a regular dude. Maddie and I were talking about that the other day on a live stream that we were doing about how we kind of idolize these players, but they're just like you and I. Like you binge watch stuff like I do. You have favorite bands like I do, right? And And I think I wanted to kind of get that to my kids for them to, because they're only 13 and 15, or at the time they were.
Wow, he's 15 now. Holy cow!
Well, now he's
Yeah,
15. Dude, he's taller than me too now. It's insane. But I just
because you're
wanted to,
tall. You're
I
like
wanted,
6'1" or something, aren't you?
yeah, it's like 6'1", 6'2", something like that. I think he's about
Yeah.
6'3" now.
Your
Wow.
grocery bill must be
It's
insane.
insane. These kids are
Yeah.
fucking eating me out of house and home.
I
I
was
feel
gonna
like
say, get that
Kidding.
fridge.
it's
Yeah,
insane, these
it's always
kids.
got
But
to
yeah,
come
anyway,
into it.
my point is that, you know, rock stars are just like us. They just happen to make music that we love. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully the people you meet, are yeah, it's a good experience or whatever. Because people say that, right? They go, careful about meeting your heroes or whatever, and
Yeah, yeah.
whoever that might be, because yeah, you might catch them on a bad day,
Oh,
or
Yeah,
they
possibly.
may
Maybe they had a
not
bad
be anything
interview
like,
or anything. Yeah, like they're just
yeah,
regular people.
you know,
uh-huh.
might be having a bad day or whatever. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So
I know
speaking
I
of
was
it,
somewhere one time. Actually, we worked with Bruce McCullough on. We did the soundtrack. It was Three Odds, back in '98, I think. And we
Well,
worked
for
on a
the
movie.
brain
They did.
candy.
It was well, we did that, which was amazing. And then from that, he did a show called Dog Park, and it was the origin. This is '98, and right while we were making it was the first time that my family we moved to the Vancouver Island, and then my wife phoned the next day. We moved over, then I came back because we were finishing the record called Nest that read odds. Somebody is cool, and um, I just said somebody who is cool. Yeah, that's good. But
Somebody is
this
cool.
someone who's cool.
Yes.
And we were finishing that record, but I had to get back to Vancouver. And my wife phones going, "Hey, we just bought a dog." And then I didn't know what a dog park was. We were working shortly after. It was about a year later, actually. And so, but a dog park? What's a dog park? Because we lived on the island. We would just go walk in the wilderness all the time. But now I am well aware of what dog parks are. But anyway, we had worked on this, and we went to Toronto. I think it was the Toronto Film Fest, and so we go watch the premiere of this show, and then afterwards, Bruce and a bunch of his people, and we're gonna go up this place and come on, let's go celebrate. And he buys everybody a whiskey, and there's enough people there that know someone, and over in the corner, there's music playing, and we're in the bar part, but over there, I'm like, fuck, it's Will Ferrell, and this
no way.
is this is early days. This is like 98,
Yeah.
99, around there.
Okay.
And so I can't remember. I mean, we've been watching that guy forever. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm such a fan. And it was like sort of kind of like making my way over. And then I go, wait a minute. No, that's not going to happen. I'll just
Come
leave it
on.
and enjoy it.
Did you? Yeah.
I'm with Bruce McCullough, and maybe there was another kid there too, said, "Hey, this is my friend. He worked on the music in my movie." And that's just way different because you never, like I said,
Mm.
you don't know how somebody is
Yeah.
actually, and all that stuff. So, like, I witnessed this a couple times lately, and people, this is what they do. They come up to certain people, and they're having a fanboy moment, fangirl moment, and they're the whole time they're going, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." Well, but the point is, if you were sorry, you wouldn't even be here. That
Right.
wouldn't be happening, you
Yeah.
know. So and we're eating. Like, people just don't even. They don't even.
They don't
I've seen
care.
women abandon their children and their husband, and they go, ah. And some are 69, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the kids and the dad, and they're just kind of going, "Uh oh, mom's doing it again," or whatever, you
Oh
know.
So
no.
does
So
Bryan Adams get recognized everywhere you go?
sometimes not. Yeah, I mean, this thing the other night was the cool thing about it. I went, "Oh, it's one of those, can't whatever," and we were all eating, and all I heard was, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." I'm like, I'm going, stop saying I'm sorry because you're interrupting a guy eating, you know.
Yeah. You're
And
kind of not
this
sorry.
is my take on it, and um, but she wanted him to know that they had purchased this one of his photographs, and I think it was of the Queen, something about that. I haven't seen it. I've seen some of the stuff, and it's amazing. So I'm sure it is. And they wanted him to know. So more than, "Oh, you did that song," it's like, "Hey, I recently was at that opening you did, and I'm the one that bought that." So,
Mm,
I gave her 50%.
yeah.
I let her down the ladder a little bit,
Yeah.
but
She gets a
anyway.
pass. She gets a pass on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, that happens. So,
Yeah.
but sometimes, yeah, we're walking around and people they don't know. But
Okay.
if you're near the hotel or the venue that we're going to be doing tonight, especially in Europe, you know,
Huh.
it's a big deal thing, you know. It's we didn't really hit on that, but it's pretty big everywhere. you know. Even like we played a couple of places on this tour, but well, we're not we're not BTS or maybe say Lady Gaga or whatever. We play a lot of big venues all the time, like the Rogers Arena size places, and
Hmm.
if they're bigger,
Yeah.
um, and over here, those it's a different thing in the Philippines or in Malaysia. But it might be a smaller number of people. So the venue was a couple of them were a little smaller, but they're still great. They're so into it. I'll tell you the one
Yeah.
thing over here, what's super cool is yeah, they don't want to hear the big rockers like Kids Want to Rock and some of that stuff. They want to hear Summer '69, but they last time we were over, like, you know what? They don't care about it, this or this or this. So let's replace those and we'll put another ballad in. And then they're just on fire because it's a karaoke culture
Yeah.
in Asia. And so we ended up, instead of doing like three band ballads, he does a couple by himself. We ended up doing like about six, you know, and it's fun because they would rather hear that than the rockers, you know.
Well,
So
and they're
that's a fun.
huge
Interesting.
songs too. Not that the rockers
Yeah,
aren't, but like
yeah,
those
Right.
yeah,
ballads are out of the park. Huge.
yeah,
Which
yeah.
songs do you like playing the most? Like, speaking of Kids Wanna Rock, you have to play that. That's such a fucking rad
Well,
song.
it comes and goes, that one. And
No
Really?
way.
yeah, and the favorites come and go because there's so many songs. But like 18 Till I Die is pretty fun. People are so excited to hear it. Um, uh, you know, the Everything I Do, those things are fun because of how excited people are about it happening. So,
Yeah.
oh, I'm doing the song. I'm I'm doing my thing with the song. But it's always a little different, you know. There's a couple of new ones. The new album, the current album, Roll with the Punches, has a song called um see, there I go with titles again.
You're like
Hang on.
you're like 7th in the set.
Fuck, I'm horrible with it. Uh, But it features a drum solo is the point. So he has decided to make that a bit of a thing, and he mentions he talks to the audience about me, and or he played on these songs and blah blah blah. You know, get people all just a thing to engage people, you know. And so and then on the record, the solo is like, I don't know, it's 12 bars long or something, you know, and it's a thing, and it's a real tip of the hat to Keith Moon and the Who, you know. And but live he's going, yeah, I was thinking maybe, and I was thinking, oh yeah, maybe we should just cut that. You know, do you want that? Or should we cut it down? So as he's saying, yeah, I think we should double it. I'm going, cut it in half. He goes, what? No, we should do it twice as long, man. You gotta go, just go for it, you know. So it's pretty fun, and he's having fun with it. And you know, he comes back and he's making faces and yelling at me or whatever. And and there's a guitar riff playing the whole way through, and then I just go.
Do you get
And
nervous?
so that's pretty fun. I sometimes get nervous about that one if in that, it comes to the fitness thing, like, oh, you flew over to England, you got there, you got here today, let's say. So from Vancouver to there, it's an 8-hour time difference. Your
Yeah.
body clock, all the shit that's going on there, and then day of show 4 o'clock, you're like, oh my God,
No
no, it's
doubt.
not 4 o'clock, it's something else. It's 3 in the morning for me or
Yeah.
whatever. So the nervous in that. Um, I know what it's going to take. When like I raise the bar high, and so here comes that song. Well, he's expecting the bar to be there, so I got to do that. So that makes me nervous if I'm tired, you know. But recently, I don't know, on this recent 3 week run, I was saying to my tech, I was going, you know what? It didn't freak me out anymore. Like I look at it and go, oh, this is gonna be great to play because we do a song and then we go into that song, which is a whole different feel. So even if you're catching your breath from the last song, there's a different feel. So you can catch your breath. Oh, but now that you've caught it, is a giant solo, and then you've set the bar this high, so it better be good. Like I can't sit back, you know. So I drive myself. So I mean, that is one
Yeah.
area where I do. You kind of got to push yourself in life, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes,
It's funny that you
or else you
mentioned
have
the
other people or team members that push you, that help push you. So, what was
yeah,
that?
I was just gonna say that you meant this whole time you've been talking about all of this touring, and the one thing that I keep thinking about is how tired you must be and the jet lag, and so like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, if you need to nap, you nap.
Yeah.
And sometimes like the other day, yesterday, usually leave the hotel at 3. So whatever your day involves, and like, oh, I'm gonna do a workout today, or I'm gonna take a day off or whatever. But then I'll probably stretch instead. you, you sometimes if the gig is close enough, uh, I'll look at it. Like we finished sound check at 5. We didn't play till 9, and the dressing
Mhm.
room sometimes they're great. Like it's got a nice couch, and there's a couple of them because if you might need to just crash out, you got a couch, and I'll put earplugs in because it's
I'm missing the there we are.
Yeah. We can't hear your audio, Pat. I don't know what happened there.
mute
Yeah.
off.
Oh, there
There
we
you
go.
go. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know these things. Sorry.
It's all right.
It's all right.
Nap anyway. What I was saying was,
Yeah.
sometimes
Have a
if a
nap.
gig
Be a
is
narcoleptic.
close to the hotel,
Have a nap.
what's that?
Said
Have a
have a
nap.
nap.
we
Be a
there?
narcoleptic.
Have a
Yep.
nap. Yep. Have a nap. There you go. You can say that to anybody in any life, no matter what you need a nap. Yeah. Have a nap.
Yeah. And not to be too cheesy, but back to the where you're talking about, you're playing these songs and it's the way that it's affecting people. Like that has to be the highest of high.
It is good. And, some of the Asian audiences are super polite. Um, they're a bit rowdier now than in 1985 when I was playing with Brian. We came over and we played in Japan, and so the lights go out and you run out, and they go. As soon as you start playing, they shut up. You play the song. You finish the song. They go. "Ah!" Dead quiet. You could hear a pin drop, and it was weird. Whereas in North America, people, it's not like that. They don't shut up, but they do it out of respect. I remember on that show we played at the Budokan, and I remember it was quiet, dead quiet, and it was someone just couldn't hold it back. There's some girl out there somewhere went, and I could see like people all going, you do
Yeah.
not do that. And
How
then like
dare you?
security guys kind of walking up the aisle, and you could see a guy leaning into the chair. He could see that it was
No
her, and
way.
he was like, and like, but it's not as much culturally that way now. They're a bit
Sure.
rowdier now, which is good. But
Yeah.
they are still in other cities that we played on this run, they get quiet. Oh, it's sort of gotten used to it, but when I first ever ran into it, I go, wait, no, I
Like,
need you because
what's
I'm
going on
feeding
here?
off of that.
Yeah.
Because
Like what's
it's two
happening?
things. It's like any band will say that if you're playing at like the Biltmore or Lee's Palace, let's make it regional, because you're in Toronto, right,
I'm in
Andy?
Northern Ontario. No.
But anyone will tell you, it's like if you go play and and the crowd is like excited, that's exciting,
Yeah.
Well, that's what drives you. That's what keeps you going. Like,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a reciprocal thing.
Mhm.
Like, and I'm sure there's a band, I'm sure there's a crowd that said, we saw those guys, they were not reciprocating. They just stared at the shoes and we sure love those songs, but they sucked. I don't know. I don't know if that ever happens. Bands come up and you're all excited and you just rock out, and hopefully the crowd, and it's give and take back and forth, So
And
Mhm.
I do
what's
love
been for
that.
you, like you watching shows, what's it been for you where you're like, that's the highlight of your concert going? Is there anything that stands out where you're like, man, that was an amazing show. What a performance. This was so crazy.
There have been, but then like since I've been in this band, back in this band, there have been so many. Like I was like, oh, okay, Dublin, that was incredible, But I can say this always Montreal. It's and actually in Quebec City too. It's off the charts more
Is
than
it?
any city
Nice.
and in the
But
world.
that
Like I mean, and in Europe and England and all over. Last year we did a show. We played in Lisbon, and then we went away and played another, and then came back 2 days later and played the same venue again, both nights. It's like Rogers, like 18,000 or something.
Yeah.
It's jammed, and they were so into it. So they were really close. Montreal's a 10. They were probably 8.5 or something
Nice.
far as I can recall, because
Nice.
I remember going, "This is really wild." I was saying to Brian or one of the guys, it's just this is really close to like what it's like in Montreal. Montreal it's always been that way. There's just something about uh, the people in that city. It's just different than Ottawa, Edmonton, Vancouver, whatever. They're all
I
great.
bet
It's
you it
great.
has
It's
some
awesome playing in Vancouver.
I bet you it has something to
Hmm?
do with that there's more radio stations that play Bryan Adams in Montreal. That could be
I
it.
wonder.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like
Maybe.
maybe there's just more saturation in that market and
Yeah.
they're dying for it. Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Listen to me still fucking banging the
I don't know.
radio drum even though I've been out
I
since
know, dude.
14. Like,
Dude, I'm down with radio. I listen to the radio in my car all the time.
do you really?
Uh,
I haven't given radio much more than a few hours of my time since leaving. obviously
Well, there might
still
be some other reasons why.
BCIT.
I don't know.
BCIT. No, it's just that
Yeah.
I'm fuck too
Are you
busy.
still doing
Just
that,
too
by the way?
busy. Yeah,
You're
BCIT.
still
I'm
out
here right
there?
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, okay. Um, I don't know. I get in the car and well, sometimes I got a horrible song in my head and I'm like, I gotta flush that out. I have this
Mm,
Yeah,
ability
yeah,
to
yeah.
just take on, I don't want that song there, but it's
yeah.
an earworm and it's there. And if
Yeah.
I don't care what comes on. I don't need to hear taking care of business, let's say. So if that's on, I'll go, no, that's not gonna do it. But pretty
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
anything else, I go, oh, okay. And sometimes it's campy because it might be, well, they don't play ABBA on the radio anymore. But I mean, if it was an ABBA song, that would just flush out whatever was in there that you didn't need, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm
For
I don't
still
sure.
know.
that
Yeah.
guy.
I just
Like
cruise around.
I'll make mixed discs. That's how I listen to music because I know I like the stuff. I'll grab stuff. Maybe I will grab an ABBA. Maybe Mamma Mia is making this playlist today. So I'll just do that. I'll
Yeah.
make just a ton of mixed
Who
discs
knows?
and bring them in
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
car. And yeah.
Yeah.
That way I don't
Um,
have
Variety's
to
the
fucking
spice of
hear
life.
Under the Bridge one more time. That way I don't
Yeah.
have to
right.
hear
Yeah.
Or
Enter
rock and
Sandman
roll.
again, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pat, we know it's getting late there, so we won't keep you much longer.
It
But
is.
before you go, can you tell us what's coming up next in the tour? Where are you traveling to next?
Playing. We're in. This is crazy, by the way. I'm in. Oh, we have a Zoom. I meant to be somewhere else. So I walked. Okay, we're in Cairo. We're playing here tomorrow night to answer your question. Then
Okay.
I'm going to go home, which is great. I'm looking forward to that. And then our next run is we're going to go down to there's that light. We're doing a run down to South America. I've never been there. So
Oh, sweet.
we're gonna going to Bad Bunnyville first, which will be awesome.
Nice. Yeah.
Never played there, and then we're going to Mexico, and we played there a couple of years ago. And then we're going to South America. So I'm looking forward to all of that. I don't know what's in store, but
No
more
doubt.
rocking. I know that much. But look at I'm
Yeah.
in Cairo.
Yeah, it's more
Look at
rocking.
this outside my. You could be in. Hey, we brought the family down to Disneyland.
Wow. Look
Well,
at
look at
that.
that. But here's the thing. So that's the front. That's the front, and then you go in the front of the hotel there. So
Yeah.
earlier I left and I went to another part I had to do a call with another guy, and I came around the corner. I'm like, oh my God, the pyramids are right there.
Wait.
Nice.
So I walked
Cool.
out.
Cool.
I'll send you a photo after. I walked out and it was dusk, so it's still kind of light. The lights were on the bottoms of the palm trees, and there's a freaking pyramid.
Nice.
Like
That's so
pretty
cool.
mind blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never been here before, so
Egypt's on
and
it's on my have to do list for sure.
yeah, I mean, it's not. So my flight home it's a 5 hour flight to London, 2 hour layover, and then direct to Vancouver, which
Huh.
is 10 hours flight. So it's kind of 15 hours to get here.
Yeah.
There's probably different
Yeah.
routes you could take. I don't know if you can get here any faster, um, but I don't know what all. Like I was saying to this young friend of mine, I said, I land. The weird thing about doing this, excuse me, is you land at an airport and you have a driver pick you up and you come to a hotel. And this is a
Oh.
Marriott, and it's not like what I was just staying in for a couple of days in this other place in Abu Dhabi. That hotel was off the charts, kind of.
Yeah.
So you come in and then you're at the hotel. Now, sometimes there might be in 2 hours we're heading down, sound checking and doing a show, and drive after the show, or come back here, sleep, and leave in the morning, or whatever. It's a bunch of ways it could go, but there's not a lot of I'm really checking out this city
Right. Yeah.
because you don't have time. And in the case of today, I got here and I was like, oh my God, there was so much air conditioning in the last week or so. I started getting like my nose just like running, and it's just sort of it's not a cold, but
Yeah.
it's been annoying all day. And I went, you know what? I gotta have a nap earlier
Yeah.
before
I
I
hear
talk
you.
to
Yeah.
you guys and all that. So, and tomorrow, but I think it's a 20-minute walk to that. So my plan is get up and have coffee and then go try to get to this pyramid because it's right there. But the gig
Awesome.
we're doing is the grand opening of I forgot the name of it, but it's a brand new um, museum. Apparently, a King
Oh,
Tut is in there,
okay.
and we drove by it today. Like it looks massive. It's been open for a while, but they're doing an official sort of I don't know, and they want Bryan Adams here to uh,
So
Yeah.
open
cool.
it. I don't know.
Who doesn't? Yeah.
Yeah, so that.
Cool.
Well,
Well,
you know
good
what?
luck with everything coming up.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
great to meet
It's
you.
been really good talking to you guys. We're gonna need to do another because there's so much good Canadian music to talk about. You know,
Yes, we didn't even
we can
scratch the
talk about the
surface of
odds. We
that.
can
Yep.
talk about other things. And
Colin
man,
James.
what's happening is my good friend Kurt Dahl is from
Limb lifter.
Age of Electric, Limb Lifter
Okay, Age of
original.
Electric.
Version one, yeah, and New Pornographers. He did a bunch of great records with them. So he's playing in the odds now, which is really cool. And the opening act
Didn't know that.
on
How long's that? How
yeah,
long's he been
so
with
they
odds
just
for?
played. They were on the island the last couple of nights, and yeah, I haven't been able to do it. It's just too like I come home and I'm like, it's not like I thought, oh yeah, I could come home and take a day out or two, and then we'll go
Right.
to Toronto
Yeah,
and
like
do
go
those
right
two
back out
shows and
again. Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, not really. I mean, if it isn't just me in this life.
Right. Yeah.
You know, if you were single and 60, sure.
Hmm.
But anyway, but you know, they're my pals and I love them and I love all the music and um uh, I sat in for one song. They now have so like 5440, they have a residency every year, February 20th or whatever at the Commodore. So they did it last year. Limblifter opened, and Jeremy Taggart from the original drummer from Our Lady Peace is the drummer in Limblifter now.
That's right. I saw that. Yeah.
So
Nice.
anyway, so those guys opened it at the Commodore last year. This year it's going to be so the little project that we did with Rob Baker from the Hip called Strippers Union, which is basically he had a bunch of songs and back in '04 was the first record and he wanted and he and Craig Northey are pals. Craig is a guitar player, singer, main writer of the Odds. So they wrote all these songs and made this project called Strippers Union. And so there's album number 3 has been out for a couple. It came out sort of when did we do it? We did it just before COVID, I think. Anyway, so
Hmm.
it's been out for a couple of years. Anyway, so that's going to be the opening act, which
Nice.
is basically the
Cool.
odds with Simon Kendall from your neighborhood, keyboard player from Doug and the Slugs, and Rob Baker. So it'll be really cool. I had thought
Nice.
I was going to be around and be able to do it, but a whole bunch of things are all happening at the same time on that day, so I can't be there. So
You're a busy guy.
which is too bad. Pretty busy, yeah. And then you know, it's just a life of freelancing for 35 plus years, turned into just slowly unable to do like I just say yeah to everything, but
Mm.
it's changed. I say yeah to this, and it is now everything. So which is great. I love it, and I love the people I'm playing and with, and I love the music we're playing, and you know, it's it's a big thing. So. Anyway,
Well,
but
thank you for
this was
taking
awesome.
time out of your busy schedule to join us. We really appreciate it. And it
All
was,
right.
like I
Love you,
said, great
buddy.
to meet you.
Well, thanks for having
And
you. I love you
hope
both
to
back.
catch up again soon. Yeah,
It's good to meet you,
you too.
Keep
Mandy.
that.
And we're coming up your way this summer. I don't know if we're playing
Okay.
Sudbury. You're in Sudbury, right?
I am. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll check. There's something
Okay.
going on. We're going to do a bunch of sort of bee markets this summer
Cool.
in